Low carb diets promise to strip off body fat, but is that really the case? The answer is yes and no. There's two main reasons why a low carb diet might work for you. And the first reason is because when you cut almost all of your carbohydrates out, that means you have to fill those carbohydrates in with fats and proteins. Fats and proteins are more satiating foods. If you try to eat 1,000 calories worth of protein, let's say you try to eat 1,000 calories worth of steak, that's going to be very challenging to do that. You try to eat 1,000 calories worth of carbs and sugars, it's very easy to do that. You can do that in 5 minutes. Carbs also spike your insulin levels. Insulin is an anabolic hormone, and anabolic means that it grows and it builds things. Anything in its path, it will grow, it will build. And that's good for building muscle. When we have more insulin, when we eat more food, then we can build more muscle. Unfortunately, because insulin is an anabolic hormone, when you eat carbohydrates, you spike insulin more and more. They are higher on the glycemic index. And what happens is that anabolic hormone, the insulin, also grows your fat cells. So when you're on a low carb diet, your insulin is low for most of the day. You're controlling your insulin, meaning we're not growing more fat cells. So does this mean that I would recommend for you to do the low carb diet? The answer is no.
Gotcha, bitch!
I would not recommend a low carb diet. There are hundreds of diets out there, whether it's the paleo diet, the keto diet, intermittent fasting, the Mediterranean diet, carnivore, vegan. There's so many diets out there, and it doesn't matter what diet you do, what you choose to do, somebody will say it's stupid or it doesn't work or the research isn't there. There is not one single diet that everybody will agree is perfect. And it doesn't matter what diet you do, somebody will say it's too restrictive. If you do intermittent fasting, they'll say that's too restrictive. If you do the keto diet, well, you need to eat more carbohydrates, it's too restrictive. If you did a Mediterranean diet, somebody would say it's too restrictive and there's not enough protein in that diet. It doesn't matter what nutrition plan you choose to do, somebody will say it won't work or it's not good enough. What I'm a believer in is calories in versus calories out. Eating in a calorie deficit. If you want to lose body fat, you need to eat in a calorie deficit. You need to eat less calories than you burn every day. It doesn't matter what special diet you do, it won't work if you don't eat in a calorie deficit. It might be good for your health, but you won't lose body fat. You could do a low carb diet or a keto diet or any diet you choose and eat 4,000 calories a day, you're still going to get fat. It doesn't make any difference. I'm a believer in calories in versus calories out because that's the one thing that actually works universally across every single nutrition plan. If you're somebody that wants to give a low carb diet a try, or you're currently doing the low carb diet and it works for you, then you should continue to do that. You should follow the nutrition plan that allows you to enjoy that plan the most and allows you to stay consistent with that plan long term. If that's the low carb diet for you, then it would be bad coaching for me to tell you to stop doing that. It's working, so do it. If it works for you, you carry on doing that. For me personally, I set my nutrition up in a way that's most effortless. I want my nutrition to be effortless. For me, training is very easy. Getting to bed on time is easy. For me to make progress in those two areas with my training and my sleep, it's very easy for me. My nutrition is the part where I've always struggled with, and you'll find that most of you are one or the other. You either struggle with your training but you're really good with your nutrition, or you struggle with your nutrition but you're way better in your training. So it just depends, everybody's slightly different. But for me, I like to make it effortless. What I do is I make sure I hit my calorie deficit or my calorie surplus. If I'm bulking, I make sure I hit those numbers. I make sure I hit my protein intake because that's very important for one, building muscle and preventing muscle breakdown, and then I'll just fill the rest of the calories in with carbohydrates and fats. And then you can play around with that. You can make most of those foods healthy. You might want to add some foods in there that are maybe not so healthy, but it allows you to just enjoy your life a little more, and that's a balance. That's something that you need to work out for yourself, what that balance looks like for you. The video I need you guys to go over and watch next is very important. It's how to target fat loss. Maybe it's chest fat, it's your man boobs, maybe you have love handles, fat on your back, belly fat. There's a specific area that you want to lose body fat from and you're not sure how to do it. In that short video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to lose that body fat. It's going to give you some great information.